Alright, drop your socks and grab your Crocs because today we are talking about the top 4 equalization problem solving exercises. This video is for anyone who's experiencing equalization issues. Maybe you've just done your first freediving course and you found you couldn't equalize head down, or you're just having equalization issues in general. Either way, I'm about to give you the top 4 equalization exercises that will get you equalizing and diving to the bottom in no time. If you're new to this channel, my name is Dan Parsons. I'm a freediving instructor trainer. This channel is all about the tips, tricks, and all the fun stuff and everything you need to know about freediving. Before we get into it, it's important to know that our main equalization muscle is our tongue, and that our tongue and larynx are connected. When we move our tongue, our larynx also moves. When we practice equalization, most of the time we can't see the tongue moving. However, we can see the larynx moving up and down. Remember, when practicing these exercises, place one hand on the diaphragm to make sure we're not engaging the belly, and also use a mirror so that you can see your larynx moving up and down. These exercises are about building strength and awareness of our equalization muscles. The more that you use these muscles, the more awareness and the more power you'll have for equalization. And like all things, practice makes perfect. Alright, exercise 1, moving the larynx up. We're going to push our tongue so it's flat against the roof of the mouth with the focus of getting the back of the tongue nice and high. You will notice very quickly that when we do this, the larynx moves up. Have a go. Once you have the movement, I want you to practice this for 1 minute. Push the tongue flat to the roof of the mouth and release it back to a neutral position, and then repeat. This is to be done with the mouth closed. Do not engage the diaphragm, we're just focusing on a tongue movement only. Remember, these exercises are about creating muscle awareness and strength through repetition. Alright, moving on to exercise 2, moving the larynx down. You can place one finger on the larynx and then act as though you're about to yawn. You'll find the larynx drops down easily. Most importantly, please comment below if the yawn was contagious. Now that we have awareness of our larynx and how to move it down, I want you to have a go at moving the larynx down without yawning. You'll notice that the further the tongue is pulled down, the further the larynx moves down. Once you have the movement, I want you to practice this for 1 minute. Pulling the tongue down as far as you can and then release it back to a neutral position, then repeat. This is to be done with the mouth closed. Once again, do not engage the diaphragm, we're just focusing on a tongue movement only. It'll look like this. Exercise 3, putting it all together. Now that we know how to move the larynx up and down, I want you to practice moving the larynx top to bottom, over and over. We're pulling the tongue down as far as you can and then pushing it flat against the roof of the mouth, then back down and repeat. This is to be done with the mouth closed. Once again, do not engage the diaphragm. We're just focusing on tongue movements only. It's important when pushing the tongue flat against the roof of the mouth that the outside of the tongue connects with the roof of the mouth, all the way around, creating a seal. This is the most important part. Imagine where your teeth meet the gums. We want the tongue flat around the top of the mouth with a nice connection, not letting any air in or out. Let's practice the movement for 1 minute in front of a mirror. it'll look like this. After you've completed all the exercises, I would like you to try the Frenzel maneuver, just like this. We'll take a light breath in through the nose, and then we'll pinch our nose, and at the same time with our tongue lowered or the larynx in the down position, we'll then push our tongue to the roof of the mouth, making sure the tongue has a nice connection around the outside of the roof of the mouth while pushing the back of the tongue nice and high. You should feel a nice strong Frenzel equalization. It'll look like this. I take a breath in, larynx goes down, and then I push up. When the larynx moves up and the nostrils flare, this tells us that our soft palate is in a neutral position and that we're shifting the air from our mouth into the nasal cavity or using the tongue. The tongue acts like a piston, and this is what allows us to build pressure for Frenzel equalization. Now let's practice. Take a breath in, pinch the nose and push the tongue up and down over and over. If you're getting a pop, please don't overdo it. And if you're feeling pain, please stop, as this is your body's way of telling you that there is something wrong. I take a breath in through the nose, I pinch the nose, I place one hand on my diaphragm, and then I push the tongue up. The purpose of having the mouth closed during these exercises is to teach your soft palate at the back of the throat to stay open while we move our tongue and our throat muscles in the same way we do for Frenzel equalization. If whilst doing the exercise and your nostrils flared but you didn't feel a pop, this might just mean that you need to push a little harder with your tongue. If you felt a pop in one ear, that's okay. It means that we're on the right track. And in the next video, I'll explain how to fix tight eustachian tubes, meaning how to get both ears to pop at the same time. Exercise 4, the soft palate. This exercise is for people who can Frenzel, but can't Frenzel upside down in the water. This is for the people that did a freediving course and could only go down feet first. For the people that experience this is a soft palate issue. For anyone that doesn't know, the soft palate is a moving part right at the back of the oral cavity. It can stop the flow of air between the oral cavity and the nasal cavity. This is the thing that we hear when we snore. It's the dangly bit right at the back of the throat. It's this guy. When you dive underwater and both ears hurt, this tells us that it's a soft palate issue. This means that once you dive underwater and the soft palate closes, air can no longer travel from the mouth or the oral cavity to the nasal cavity. This is a result of the body's fight, flight, freeze mechanism. For this exercise, you'll need to have good control of the tongue and moving it up and down. For this exercise, you're going to have to stand in an upright position. Do not make the equalizations too strong. It's not about putting too much pressure on the ears. It's about teaching that soft palate to stay open whilst equalizing. Okay. Step 1, we're going to do 5 equalizations in an upright position. It'll look like this. Remember, we're not engaging the diaphragm at all. All we're doing is the tongue movement and pushing the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Now, moving on to step 2, we're going to put our body at a 45-degree angle and we're going to do another 5 Frenzel equalizations. We'll take a breath in. Nice. Further that and go completely horizontal. Another breath in. Cool. So what we're doing is we're teaching the soft palate to stay open whilst we're equalizing at a greater and greater angle. All right, and for the fourth step, we're going to go slightly further than the horizontal position. It'll look like this. We're going to take a breath in and do 5 equalizations. What we're doing here is we're teaching that soft palate to stay open whilst equalizing. For the last one, we're basically going to be upside down and equalizing. It'll look like this. Full breath in, head down. So with this exercise, you'll actually be able to pinpoint the part where your soft palate closes whilst you're changing the angle of your head, okay? And this gives us an area of where we can practice on how we can keep that soft palate open whilst equalizing. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to hit that bell and subscribe. If you're someone that can equalize but just one ear, then I'll see you in the next video when we talk about tight ears and how to stretch our eustachian tubes.